I spent 6 years growing my dad's mechanics shop from $250K to $7 million in revenue, but my investment banker siblings who never cared suddenly want in, so my dad gave them 60% and made my sister CEO even though she told me everyone is replaceable. So I took our biggest clients and best mechanics and started my own shop. Posted by you/physical_antelope170. I, 29M, am unsure if this is the right subreddit, but I need advice on a family and business relationship. My dad, 65M, is a heavy diesel mechanic and has run a small workshop his whole life. I have always been interested in his work since I was a kid and would always help him out on the weekends. I went to university and studied mechanical engineering and commerce but struggled and dropped out and traveled the world for a year. My siblings, 36M and 32F, are both in investment banking and are successful in their careers. Since I was 23, I have worked with my dad as a mechanic and slowly taken over his workshop. When I started, he had 2 part-time mechanics and 1 car in 2017. I have bought in several new strategies such as focusing on commercial verticals only, off-hours servicing etc., and we have grown to 35 employees and 15 cars. We went from $250,000 in revenue to just shy of $7 million this financial year. My dad only works in the workshop while I'm more 20/80 workshop to office split. The pandemic has meant our business has grown tremendously in the last few years. A few weeks ago at my dad's 65th birthday dinner, he talked about the numbers of the business and everyone was shocked. No one in the family has ever visited our workshop or asked about it. Since then he has been thinking about the succession plan after my siblings have been asking about it. He proposed the following idea to me. I get 40% of the business, they get 30% and 30%. My sister would get a manager position as she is looking to leave the IB world to start a family, and my brother would get the same as well if he wants it. I noted everything he said and just asked for some time to think. They started proposing some of the most insane ideas without any context of the business. I'm seriously annoyed. My dad has run this for 32 years, but only since I joined did we expand. I admit I did use my dad's network, reputation, skill and initial workshop to get a head start, but it was my idea to expand, get a bigger workshop and implement risky ideas. I don't think my siblings who have never even asked about the business should get cushy high-paying jobs for doing nothing. If we wanted a $200,000 a year manager, I would get one with industry experience. I have spoken to him briefly, but he was shocked by my reaction and said it was his dream to have all his siblings work in the business, but my brother and sister have never even picked up a spanner before in their lives. I have been hanging around since I was 12. He always said it would be mine. I don't want to have to answer to a board of my siblings who I get the vibe they think they are smarter than me just because they finished university. I built this business with just my dad and want to keep building it with him without my siblings. I can see it from their point of view as this is a family business my dad started and my dad wants to make it more of an effort to include them, but I feel they only want to be included because we are now successful. I am being accused of being greedy and entitled by my family. I think this is ridiculous and the business is mine after spending the last 6 years building it. I would love some outside perspective on this situation. I just wanted to give a quick update. Thank you for the amazing advice and for linking the plumber's story. Reading that really scared me and it basically happened to me. Some quick points. I can't really sell my shares or this business. We are a service business where we get paid for the work we have done and we have assets, but it's like used, dirty utes and tools, worth $100,000 new but nothing on the second market. We had a family business lawyer meeting last night and I don't know what is happening. My sister and brother had been lobbying my dad about the direction and strategy of the company before this for weeks. They feel it would be in better hands with my sister being CEO, my brother being CFO and me as COO or glorified operations manager, and unfortunately, my dad agrees with them. During the session, I felt incredibly patronized. They laid out this 5-year plan and how the company would grow to be this huge entity we would own equal amounts in. They didn't talk to anyone in the actual business about this plan or even our customers. They wanted to make things standard, but the reason our customers love us is that we are flexible and accommodating. I asked a few questions to see how set my dad was in this plan and realized he was really excited. I tried to argue the current business was 50-50 my dad's and mine, therefore, it should be split 66%, 17%, and 17%. Their huge salaries would be better off hiring mechanics to grow. I was told everyone is replaceable by my sister. This crushed me because I don't think that's true. I have so much tacit knowledge and the 27 mechanics are loyal to me. I secured our biggest 10 customers only in the last 15 months because I have this reputation as the mechanic who went to uni and worked on the tools. I know I leveraged this in the bidding process over other companies. This isn't like a public company, everything in this industry is relationships. I've been reading The Art of War this last month and I've decided I'm not going to voice any more concerns. I'm going to go along with the plan and let my emotions mellow out and wait till I can think of some options. Relevant comments. Op responds to a comment involving a similar story to the family business situations between the father and children. OP, wow, I can't believe there are more stories like this on Reddit and I didn't even think about it. My issue is without me, I know my dad would have been fine just making a good salary and not expanding. I had to convince him to let us take on risk and debt to grow. My sister and brother didn't care about the business or contribute in any way, so I don't see why they should get ownership. We aren't making a profit because everything is being reinvested into the company. I'm not from the USA, so university was paid for by government loans. Even though the business is making just under 7M now, salary-wise dad made about $80,000 a year when I joined and we pay ourselves like $150,000 now, which makes us good but not like uber rich. We use the profits to hire more mechanics so we do more work so we can hire more mechanics. Each mechanic we add needs about 5 to 10K in extra tools we need to hire or a new ute we need to buy. Commenter 1, tell your dad that you spent a lot of years working with him. Explain how much you've contributed in the past 6 years. Ask for 51%. You don't want your brother and sister to outvote you in a business that they don't know. Ops response, I understand, but I don't want them to have any percent. I was told at the start that the company was mine as they never wanted anything to do with it. I'm starting to think I'm open to paying them out some cash for it, but I feel I grew this company from nothing to where we are now. When I joined, my dad worked just enough to make an $80,000 salary. I wanted to expand and grow the company. If I left, the company would stop. I run everything from operations to sales. The two of them together couldn't do my job. Op on his siblings' jobs and if they enjoy their respective fields or not. Yes, exactly. They chose to work in a corporate and they hate it. I feel they see this as an opportunity to make the same money and work for themselves. We have a system and culture in place that will get ruined by bringing in two people. I also feel they aren't entitled to the business. I built it up with the understanding it would be mine. Commenter 2, your dad is being ridiculous. Suggest he sell the business and split it however he chooses. It's his business, even if you helped expand it. But make it clear that you're not comfortable working in that situation. Consider whether you want to continue building your father's asset. You're not being greedy at all. He's offering you 10% of his business in consideration for the work you've done to date, plus an equal share with your siblings after that. That's not crazy unfair to you, but the work situation he's proposing is ridiculous. You shouldn't stay in a dysfunctional situation just to keep everybody happy. Ops response, I understand you are saying it's his business, but honestly, I don't feel he owns 100% of the current company. I think it would be split 50-50 between him and me at the moment. Op on his siblings' relationships with their father and success in business. I am open to them having a percentage or a payout for my dad's half of the business. My dad and I are super close, but my dad and siblings aren't. I worked with him even while I was at uni, but they got normal jobs that paid less money. He has tried bonding with them, but he thinks the world of them. I know they are smart and successful, but they haven't achieved what they expected in life. I have tried talking to my sister and brother individually, but they dismiss me and it's really hard not to be seen as the little brother who dropped out of uni to travel the world, you know? Commenter 3, NTA. Can you talk to your dad about a purchase price? Maybe 50% to you and 25% to each of your siblings and get your dad to agree that you buy them out? That way dad gets to feel like he's giving them something, they feel like they got something, and you get to own the company yourself. It still sucks for you, but it might work out better than trying to work with them in your company. Ops response, I have tried, but my dad is really excited about them joining the team. I joked about them starting on the floor with the apprentices and he laughed. They aren't the type to get dirty. My dad sees we hired a few operation people and a couple of finance people in the last year and he doesn't understand why they can't join the office. I've tried explaining the bookkeepers and admin people get paid $65,000 and do what I tell them. Update, 10 days later. I'm unsure if I should just keep editing the update or post an update as its own post. I'm finding updating this therapeutic and it's beneficial to know that other people agree with me as everyone around me thinks I'm crazy. Unfortunately, the nuclear options needed to happen. My sister and brother came to the workshop to get onboarded last week. They both wore pastel polos to a mechanic shop and refused to shake anyone's hands because our hands were covered in grease. My dad was so excited to show them around and let's just say none of the dudes was too impressed. I went to my mom and dad's after to talk. I expressed some thoughts and feelings, but they were so dismissive. I tried to pitch some of the ideas in the comments, slower start to joining the business, but they just felt everything would work out. I just lost it and told my dad he was a terrible mechanic and I would never hire him. He is sloppy and inefficient. I asked him why is he never on the road, why does he only work on ad hoc random issues and never works on routine repairs or servicing on our biggest clients. He is slow, he doesn't know how to use the latest tools and technology. He doesn't even know how to update the iPad checklist forms that I created at the end of the servicing and he sometimes misses checks. I partner the first year apprentices with him because he doesn't clean up the tools after himself properly. He doesn't wipe them down and place them back in their allocated spot for the next person, they have to do it for him. I told them I don't want to work in a family business. I have always felt like the black sheep of the family. My older siblings were close, but I felt excluded. They constantly lectured me about how I should go back and finish my degree rather than waste my life in the workshop working a dead-end job, and now after they have seen the success of this dead-end job they want to come in? I'll save Reddit from all the points, but a lot of resentment and issues came up. After that talk, I knew what I needed to do. I went to one of our biggest clients and my mentor, the CEO, 55M, of a logistics company and told him the story. He offered me a $250,000 loan over 3 years to start my own shop. I signed the lease at our old workshop and spent all my savings on 4 cheap utes and close to $45,000 in tools. I have already confirmed with our 8 biggest customers to move to my new workshop, which is close to 65% of our total revenue. I have confirmed with 7 of our best mechanics they will move to my shop, and I'll welcome over any of the other boys once the news breaks. I just copied our previous employment contracts off a template, so there is no conflict. I know this is going to blow up the family and will decimate the old business. I did try talking to my sister about the changes, but she just treated me as the little kid that got lucky. My dad was delusional and too excited to see all his kids working in the same business. To me, it was never about money or greed. During my time, my title was boss's son. I just loved leading a team of solid boys working outside fixing stuff up that broke with my pops. I know the culture and business I built were gone, so I don't feel I'm destroying anything, but I feel guilty. Top comments. Commenter 1, Op chose violence and I'm here for it. If you're already running the place, then you should have say in these decisions. Godspeed Op, you got this. Commenter 2, I wonder how the geniuses are going to do when their new business implodes within weeks of them starting. They're going to have the world record of killing a successful business the quickest, and they will deserve it. They'll have no clients, few workers worth a damn, and little money to pay their massive salaries because they wouldn't listen to the one guy who actually built and knew the business. I would keep records of this and show them to business professors as a textbook example of how not to capitalize on your top asset and destroy your family business in one fell swoop. Commenter 3, good for you. You did a great job standing up for yourself. I'm sorry your dad couldn't see and appreciate all the hard work you've put into the business. Best of luck in your new business. Keep us updated on how your family reacts. Oh, if your sister pitches a fit, tell her, I thought everyone was replaceable?